Italian bond yields have hit that critical mark of 7%. They've pierced it. That has taken our markets down. I'm here with Alan Valdez from DME Securities. So, Alan, that became really the point of no return because, they can't service this debt once it hits 7%.
No, there's no way. I mean, that's really what turned the tide to Greece a couple of months ago. And the problem was with Italy. Remember, Germany, the biggest economy in Europe, is 27% of EC GDP. Greece, 2%. Italy, 17%. So Italy is, in fact, too big to bail, as they say. There's nothing they can do. They're going to have to print money, which is going to definitely dilute the euro, which is going to be a problem for the world, especially with China slowing down. You saw the numbers out of China today. I mean, China's going from 100 miles an hour to 65 miles an hour, still growing. But Europe's their biggest trading partner, not the United States. So it's going to be pretty tough going, I think, from here on in. This is a very critical situation we're in right now. It really is the most critical I've seen it so far.
Right, as you mentioned, the euro had been strong because they hadn't been printing. So people saw that as a good sign for the euro. It was staying strong, but that sounds like all bets are off with that dollar, potentially lifting. That's pulled this oil down.
Yeah, you saw that. I mean, oil, which looked like it was heading for triple digits yesterday, of course, reversed real quickly. And, there's no silver bullet for these problems. It's been festering for years. And the fact is, I mean, it's not sustainable. Those economies over there, especially as they call the Fed, the Club Med countries, there is no sustainability to them. And you just can't print your way out of these things. You need growth, which none of these plans, by the way, address. I don't care if you go back to 6 months ago, none of them addressed that growth problem. And the longer these plans fester, and here's another problem, the public gets tired of it. And you're seeing dissatisfaction not only in Greece, but you're seeing it in Spain, in Italy, in France now there's problems. And to make matters worse, this is a big election year in Europe. You got Nicolas Sarkozy up for election, and he's trailing. You got Merkel, who lost 3 of her local elections, even in her hometown of Berlin. You got elections in Spain. You got elections in Greece. Well, Greece, who knows what's happening there. In Italy, of course, he could step down any day now, it seems. So these change the whole complexion of the deals, nonetheless. So it really is the most critical time, I think, so far we've seen in Europe.
All right, so if we see this dollar strengthen, what is that going to do to our markets?
Well, we've been living on a weak dollar. I don't care what the Fed says, but our multinationals, if you look at all the earnings that we've just passed earnings season, basically there's a few left, but they all cite strong growth overseas, emerging markets because of that weak dollar. Remember, Europe, again, is our biggest trading partner. 22% of our exports go to Europe. Now, if you get the euro down to, say, a 102, 103, that puts a lot of pressure on our exports, on our multinationals. It's a game changer. There's no question about it.
All right, so we are going to keep our eye on that dollar because that dollar trade is affecting a lot of things around it. That's Alan Valdez from DME Securities.